Hey there, it's Aaron. In this video, I am going to use ChatGPT to come up with a nice descriptive prompt that we can use in Leonardo.ai to generate a fantasy scene image for us. And then we're going to bring that into Adobe Photoshop and use Firefly AI over there to complete the image for us. Sounds pretty awesome. So I haven't done a trial run of this for us, but we'll see what we come up with. I'm sure the result is going to be pretty awesome. So I'm saying, describe a fantasy scene called The City of Sparkling Lights at Night. And I'm going to ask it to do that in 100 words, because if I don't, it'll come back with probably a couple of pages worth of descriptive text of this city of sparkling lights. So here we have a 100-word prompt. I'm not going to read the whole thing. As darkness descends, the city transforms into a mesmerizing tapestry of enchantment. The city of sparkling lights comes alive, its every street and corner aglow with a symphony of colors. And it goes on from there. So I'm going to take that nice prompt over here into Leonardo, and we will paste it up here. And I'm going to run it through Leonardo in a few different renderings, and we'll see which of these models gives us a really cool image to work with. So I'm going to use Leonardo Creative, their Dream Shaper version 6, and I'm also going to use this beta function here that they have called Leonardo Alchemy, and I'm going to set that on just general, and I'm going to do a create with that one. So let's see what we've come up with here. So here is City of Sparkling Lights in Dream Shaper version 6. That is quite pretty. Some spires in the background. Different. Ooh, very gothic looking. And that one is pretty neat as well. That's really cool. Let's have a zoom in on this one. Pretty neat stuff. I like that it has some figures in there that makes it realistic, but they're in the distance, so it doesn't have to struggle with forming the figures. Let's look at the Leonardo Creative set. Different sort of artwork style altogether. Very nice though. Here this is interesting where it's interpreted that as lanterns instead of necessarily sparkling lights. And then let's look at the Leonardo Alchemy. Very fantastical. We have a glowing hot air balloon. You can see though that it definitely looks like it's pieced together from a number of images, and I don't really like that. This is definitely an interesting take as well. Here I don't like that. This doesn't make any sense. It looks like a small little set of models of a weird fantasy scene, and this kind of looks like a celebration of Disneyland. So in the end, I'm going to say that I seemed to be drawn to this image the most. So I'm going to go ahead and first of all, let's use a couple of upscales here and see, besides the fact that that's going to make it higher resolution to bring into Firefly, it also tends to at least subtly change the scene. So here we see with the creative upscaled image that it seemed to take away from the crispness of the image. Let's see what else it's done. So there's the original, there's the creative upscaled, and it really just looks like a haze has been put over everything. Let's try alternate upscaled. So there's the alternate. Here's the original. So it seems like we've gained pixel count at the loss of really the sharpness of the definition of things. So I'm just going to keep the low resolution. I'm going to download that and open it up here in Photoshop Beta. And so here we go. It's now on our desktop computer. And we're going to have a closer look at this. Let's see what we've got going on. So we don't have to zoom in very much before it becomes pixelated, because it's not a high resolution image. So we've got the spires, we've got some stars, some Milky Way galaxy action happening there, nice detail on around the windows, and yeah, pretty neat. So let's see what size we've got here. 640 by 832. Well, we could turn that into a nice, why don't we do 1200. Oh my, let's do 1200 by 800 because it's a nice ratio, and it is going to cut off some of the top and bottom. I'm fine with that. And in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight the area like that, giving it some bleed though on the sides. And I'm going to now use on the generative fill bar this button, which is invert the selection. So instead of it being the area that I selected, now it's the opposite. So it's going to have those areas that we want to have filled. And let's go ahead and generate the fill for that. I think it's going to do an incredible job because there's lots of information for it to work with here and lots of different lights and colors to work with. So it should give us a couple of variations that look very, very nice. So that is beautiful. Let's zoom in on that a bit. Nicely done. Definitely has that city vibe to it, city of lights. Not maybe as sparkly as I was expecting. You know, this really has the vibe of like an older European city, even maybe like reminds me somewhat of Quebec City. Beautiful scene. And let's pick one of them. I kind of like number 3. Let's see number 2 again. You know what? Number 2 is great. So in the end, we've come up with a beautiful, pretty scene of the city of sparkling lights at night. I hope that you enjoyed that, and I will see you the next time.